applies.
Men, 40% of us over 40 experience ED, but the blue pill isn't your only option. And ladies, are you living with bladder leaks? At Thrive Alternative Medicine, they're introducing the Emsella Chair, a non-invasive FDA-approved treatment for urinary incontinence and sexual wellness. It's simple. Sit in the chair, fully clothed for 28 minutes. The Emsella Chair uses high-frequency energy to stimulate your pelvic floor muscles. Patients report better sexual satisfaction and improved bladder control. Call Thrive Alternative Medicine, 850-655-7090.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
The legendary Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina, home for the most popular drink specials in town and now on the beach. Enjoy 2-for-1 house margaritas and draft beer all day, every day. 10% off on Military Mondays, and Tuesdays kids eat free with an adult. Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina, now with 2 locations. Back Beach next to Home Depot and Highway 77.
Remember, always be generous with the nutmeg. Just eyeball it.
Okay.
Mom's wisdom has served you well, but now it may be your turn to guide her.
Hey, I'm worried about Mom. She keeps forgetting her famous sweet potato pie recipe.
Some things come with age, sis.
And some don't.
Knowing the early signs of Alzheimer's in a loved one will help you make the best decisions for your family. Visit 10signs.org to learn the signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. ESPN Northwest Florida. Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, no water.
I'm full of water. I stay hot tub. Hot, stay hot, stay hot tub. Gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it sweat. Stay hot tub. Rubber dub in the hot tub. Rubber dub heat. Shall I get the hot tub?
Yeah.
Will it make me sweat?
Yeah.
Shall I get the hot tub?
What's the name of that restaurant? Ferrucci's. $25 gift card.
May the 4th through the 15th.
Ferrucci's.
8:15 and 5:15.
Wonderful people on that place too, by the way. All right, I got to get over this before we get going, Nick. We're gonna get Nick. We got to get Nick South Walton baseball. Hey, on this date, 15 years ago, a day I will never forget, and I won't get into that for a lot of reasons. But anyway, on April 27th, 2011, 360 tornadoes touched down in 26 different states, changing people's lives forever. It was unbelievable. I was in Orlando, Florida with Keith Bland, and we turned the TV on, and I think it was in Tuscaloosa, yeah. This unbelievable tornado.
Yeah.
Sized that thing, killed all those people in the state of Alabama. So thank God we're not dealing with that right now, but they are in the Midwest. It's going to be really bad today up that way.
Yeah, they showed some big ones coming through there for this past weekend. So.
Yeah, today it's a little bit northern and a little bit eastern. It's going to be pretty rough. Anyway, let's talk about something that's pretty rough. You talk about South Walton baseball is pretty rough. You play them boys, you better be ready to play. If not, they'll put it on you. They're still in it. Mosley's still in it. Bay's out. Arnold's out. Bozeman's out. Sad.
Yep.
But the big dogs are still rolling. Let's talk to Nick. How you doing this morning?
Hey, Coach Hale. Hope y'all had a good weekend. What's going on?
Man, we had a great weekend. Talk about them Seahawks, man. There's something special. Talk about them boys.
Yeah, we played Saturday night against a pretty good team from Jacksonville, Wolfson. They're young, scrappy, athletic. They had a really good lefty pitcher going on the mound, and we were able to put together some quality at-bats. Very proud of the team. they came out with a big victory, run rule victory. So pretty good job by the Seahawks Saturday night. Super proud of those guys.
Yeah, Coach, 13-0. Listen, I'm going to need to talk to your kicker if you can't make the extra point. We gotta go with him. So, but yeah, and then you're gonna face West Florida one more time.
Yeah, West Florida this coming week. Friday night, game 1. Saturday, game 2. I think the team's in a really good place. We know West Florida. They're a very scrappy team. They bunt, they run. They're athletic. We don't overlook anybody here. We take it one game at a time. But super proud of the effort last week. Had a couple guys I wanted to highlight from the Wolfson game. Carter Hawk got us rolling in the second inning with a 2 RBI single. Kind of broke the ice. They had 3 runs on the board through 2. We didn't score in the third, but then in the fourth we busted it open with 10 runs in the 4th inning. And we had quality at bat after quality at bat. I think that's very important for our team as we go forward. We didn't chase out of the zone. That lefty for Wolfson had a really good breaking ball, and he was changing speeds quite a bit, in, out, up, down, and our guys were able to lay off, and we were able to hit some bolts and busted it open. Nathan Whitney had his first career out-of-the-park home run. It was exciting. Electrified the crowd there in the 4th. Coleman Borthwick followed him up with another home run. So we get out front with our pitching staff. Really like us. If we can get ahead and stay ahead and keep adding to our lead, we do a good job of that. But I think the key going forward is going to be manufacturing runs. Get them on, get them over, get them in. We did a good job of that Saturday night.
What kind of crowd y'all have?
Oh, man, Coach, it was packed. You ever watch Field of Dreams when the cars start lining up, coming in out of the cornfields there? That's what it looks like.
Wow.
We start those 7 o'clock games. We have the Little League in-house. The Little League supports us very well. We do some camps for the youth, and these kids look up to these high school players like they're superheroes. They showed up in full force, want to bring them back out Friday night. It's so exciting when you have a high school atmosphere that has capacity, crowd wrapping the entire field. We had people lined up in the outfield, trucks lined up in the outfield. All the bleachers are packed. You had scouts lined up, just kids everywhere. It's just an exciting atmosphere. If you haven't been, I highly recommend it. We've got some big-time talent, and we try to put out a great product, but we're doing whatever we can to win the next game, and that's kind of our mindset. Just keep getting better. We don't get too full of ourselves and our success. We just keep getting better. We want to win the championship. We've got 5 more wins that we got to get 4 wins to get down to Fort Myers where we need to go. So we got to find a way to win 2 this week is the key. So our most important game's our next game, Friday night. I like our pitchers and I like our offense when we manufacture, and we're working really hard on that.
Now, what do you like more? Like West Florida, you know them, they know you, or would you rather play a team you know nothing about? You don't see them twice a year or something like that. How do you like that? You like this? You should maybe like this way. I don't know.
Well, we know West Florida. They're very dangerous, and I'll tell you why. They kind of like you get tired of getting beat up on. We've beat them for 4 years straight in the district championship, and they're pretty much sick and tired of it. So they're a dangerous team. I think we have a little bit of an intimidation factor first time you come play us. But after you kind of understand who we are and get used to it, they can be a dangerous bunch. So we've got to be on our P's and Q's and ready to play our best baseball because they're locked in. They know what they're getting. And, we know what we're getting in them. We know how to pitch and defend and execute manufacture runs. We keep doing those things. I like our team. They have some crafty pitchers. West Florida's got a kid, Bernier. I think he's got 10 wins on the season. He's won 10 games. He's not overpowering. He changes speeds. He locates. So when you watch how they play, it's a different style. We kind of have a power game, on the pitching side and offensive side, they're more of a crafty team. And their pitcher, their frontline pitcher Vernier is very good. They have a lefty that's dangerous as well. So they're a tough matchup without a doubt. So we're not overlooking them. We got to do whatever it takes this week.
All right, I want to ask you. I know you're not overlooking them. Just for my sake, if you do take care of business, win these 2 games here, the next one, will you be on the road or will you be home?
No, since we are in the number 1 seed, we played the toughest strength of schedule in our classification. We are in the 1 seed for all of Class 3A, so that gives us the right to host. This year's playoff format is the high seed hosts all 3 games, so we would host this week and next week if we can find a way to win. Wow. Next week, the other matchup is Fernandina Beach, who took down Bay High, and I know they have very good pitching over there. They have some good lefty pitchers. And then Swanee. We had to walk off Swanee here last year. Very familiar with them. They are a very physical and athletic team. Very interesting matchup over there at Fernandina this week. I think Fernandina's the higher seed. They have some frontline arms that are pretty impressive. Swanee's very impressive with their skill sets, just physicality. Those guys are big-time weight room warriors, and they play a great style of ball. So, not overlooking West Florida, but the next round will be tough as well.
All right, Nick, anything else you want to tell us before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to tell y'all this senior class just won their 100th game Saturday night.
Wow.
In 4 years. Y'all can do the math, but
no,
100 wins out of a class.
That's awesome, man.
You know what? I'm just proud. I'm proud of that success because those guys, I poured into them, but more importantly, they've put in the work. As a coach, when your guys are completely bought in and they do it day in and day out, as much as we do, just makes you proud. So hats off to them. Let's get the crowd out there, support these boys. They make a run to achieve their dream.
Let me ask you this real quick. At the gate, can they purchase tickets at the gate without having to go online or use the phone? Some old guy that I know might want to come over there and watch you play, but they're not good with the phones and buying tickets that way.
Go Fans tickets are online. But there's lots of entrances to the Seahawk nest there, so we don't want to turn anybody away. We want everybody to come out, but we'll do whatever it takes to help them get in.
See, Glenn, they'll take care of you.
Hey, Coach, real quick, go over the weekend schedule for people that want to come to the game, location, game times.
Yes, Friday night, game 1's at 7 o'clock. We got Denton Lord scheduled to start. Big power arm, committed to Mississippi State. He's electric. Excited to see him go Friday night. Saturday, game 2 starts at 1 o'clock. Hopefully we can take care of business in game 1 and game 2, and we don't need a game 3. Game 3 would be at 4 o'clock following. So
all at
get in Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So Friday night, all at South Walton. Friday night at 7 o'clock. Saturday, game 2 starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, followed by an game 3 if needed. So excited to host that, and we want to pack the nest out and get these boys the support they need.
I saw there's a chance of rain. What's the state tell you to do if weather is a factor? Come back and play it Monday or what?
I'm gonna make a call today. Robbie Lindeman and the FHA baseball guys, and look at that. They're calling for some major rain Saturday, so that's very interesting. So we may look at haven't decided yet. I'm not sure if we could do a doubleheader Friday, but we're going to look at it. I think it would probably push games to Monday. They're not going to let us go on Sunday, I don't think.
No, probably not on that. Hey, where's your son going?
My son Coleman's committed to Auburn.
Okay, so is it true you're going to go up there too and be an assistant?
Somebody asked me if I was applying for all these baseball jobs that came open around here. Northwest Florida State's open. I think Cressy's open. Walton's open. I don't think I'm applying for any other jobs right now. I'm very happy. I have a 7th grader, y'all. I have a 13-year-old who I'm fully invested in his group as well. And I don't plan on going anywhere, but we'll see what the Yankees say.
Well, I've already heard you told
they're
them
all
no.
over.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Well, here's the thing. If you don't hear a rumor by 10 o'clock, you got to start your own. So I was just letting you know.
There's a lot of baseball jobs open right now, guys, if y'all want to get out of the radio. I just want to throw that out there.
No.
I'm not doing that again. I had my 40.
It's a lot easier.
There's plenty of jobs open in the Panhandle, guys. I'm telling you, the parents aren't that bad. Trust me.
We got all the answers here. We had the coach, we wouldn't have them anymore.
No doubt. Monday morning.
Yes,
Monday morning quarterback.
That's
it's all
right.
good.
All right, Nick, we'll talk to you next Monday. Good luck to you.
Thanks, guys.
All
Have a
right.
great day.
All right. Let's talk about some of our great people we have. We got one in the studio right now.
Thank you.
Turf Pro Pest Control. You want that yard like a golf course. Patrick, what's the best way to get up with somebody local? Somebody loves this community. Somebody's expanded throughout the Panhandle of Florida. What's the name of the company? How do they get up with you?
Well, we're Turf Pro Pest Control. You can find us on Facebook at Turf Pro PC. You can also call us on our local number, which is 850-890-5820. We get out there, we do lawn treatments, we do household pest control, we can do your rodent control, mosquito control. If you're having a party, we can take care of the fire ants before you have that party. Memorial Day's coming up. Don't let your Memorial Day weekend get ruined by bugs. Give us a call. We can come out there. We can get them taken care of and get them eliminated for you.
Yep, and the boss will come out and look, too. I was
and every now and then we get rid of them uncles. But them ants just keep coming
If
back.
you're over in Lynn Haven, there's only one place to go. Beef Braised Lynn Haven. The city commissioner is Pat Perno. His restaurant, second to none. Incredible atmosphere. TVs everywhere. Watch all the ball games. Have a great time. Mosley Dolphins. They get before the game. Go have a great pregame meal there. After the game, go back and have celebration at Beef Braised Lynn Haven. Glenn, we're already down there. Let's go look for some jewelry. David Adams, you got Russ, Amber, and Patrick. They'll take care of you. If you got some great old jewelry, and Glenn does, he has some nice gold, he has some nice silver, take it down there and sell it to them. They'll give you an unbelievable deal. That's David Adams.
They did. I tried that, and they did.
We'll be right back. Coach Jones, hopefully Coach Jones on our high school, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lock it in and rip the knob off. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has turned up the power.
I'm getting an ostrich, God, Captain.
From Port St. Joe to Panama City to Fort Walton Beach, the biggest sports signal in the Panhandle.
If I push it any harder, the whole thing will blow.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 81 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, very little wind, and a temperature of 68. About the same tomorrow, around 79 with mostly sunshine and a wind coming out of the south-southeast at 9 miles per hour. Partly sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and hot around 78. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Men, 40% of us over 40 experience ED, but the blue pill isn't your only option. And ladies, are you living with bladder leaks? At Thrive Alternative Medicine, they're introducing the Umcella Chair, a non-invasive FDA-approved treatment for urinary incontinence and sexual wellness. It's simple. Sit in the chair, fully clothed for 28 minutes. The Umcella Chair uses high-frequency energy to stimulate your pelvic floor muscles. Patients report better sexual satisfaction and improved bladder control. Call Thrive Alternative Medicine, 850-655-7090.
Crawfish season is back, and the heat is on at Lone Star Boil House. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for delicious, mouth-watering Cajun crawfish, shrimp, buttery red royals, and everything crab. Plus, Lone Star Boil House is now serving liquor. Get crawfish 6 days a week, open to close. To-go crawfish also available at the front bar, and crush the follow on Facebook for frequent food and drink specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update. Presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250 plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves take Game 3 and take the series. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network Morning Update.
Tidal Wave Auto Spa is the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves and your go-to car wash destination all season long. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com to find a location nearest you.
The Braves now 5-0 in rubber games. They have not lost a series this season. Braves 6-2 winners over the Phillies on Sunday. Matt Olson, 3-run home run in the first. Eli White with another home run in the second. That was all the Braves would need. And how about Chris Sale? Yet another fantastic performance from the future Hall of Famer. 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Chris Sale making some history. He moved past Chuck Finley into 28th all-time on the strikeout list. So congratulations to Chris Sale. Off day today, Tigers coming to town on Tuesday. Going to be a very interesting series. Casey Mize gets the ball for the Tigers. The Auburn product is 2-1, has a 2.51 ERA, 10 walks, and 32 strikeouts on the season. For leadoff show, 6 o'clock Eastern time. First pitch between the Braves and Tigers across the street at Truist Park, 7:15 Eastern time. You can hear all of it on the Braves Radio Network.
He doesn't try on clothes at the department stores. He just rips stuff off the hanger and lives with the consequences for years.
It's classy, it's intriguing.
He's sexy, sassy, and full of spunk.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. South Walton rolling. It's also Arnold Day, Monday, right here on ESPN Northwest. Actually, it's Coach Jones today. He sort of comes in from California, turns Arnold into a playoff contender. I think it's like 4 or 5 years in a row now he's had him in the state playoffs. Let's bring him on, find out what happened. Coach Jones, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
We are outstanding. Tell us what happened. Did come out the way you wanted, but you had a great year, made the state playoffs again. How many years in a row now have you guys made the playoffs?
That's 6 years in a row.
Woo, baby. Ooh, good job. Good job. I don't think we made the playoffs before you got there. Maybe, once, maybe?
Yeah, I think once or twice.
Yeah, it was one time in the first 20 years of our school we made the playoffs, and we've been able to make them 6 years in a row.
Unbelievable.
So we certainly had a pretty good run. Unfortunately, it ended for us on Friday, but for this year. But proud of what we have done on what would have been probably everybody would have called it a rebuilding year. We ended up being the 4th seed in the playoffs, and we got to host St. Augustine. I think when we talked last, there was very little doubt in my mind we were going to be on the road somewhere. I didn't really see the possibility of us getting to play a home game, but we were fortunate to get the 4th seed, play the number 5 seed, which was St. Augustine, and they drove over to us Friday. We lost the game 10-6. They were up 2-0 after 3. We scratched 1 in the bottom of the 3rd, and then we scored 4 in the bottom of the 4th. So we were ahead 5-2 at the time, and then kind of the wheels fell off a little bit. We lost command of the strike zone in the 5th inning. Gave them quite a few free base runners, and then they had a couple big hits. They scored 5 on us there and ended up pulling away 10-6 and ending our season. Unfortunately, this year the first round is back to single elimination, and so if you don't play your best baseball, then the season's over. And unfortunately, that's what happened to us. They came up with some big hits. St. Augustine, they played hard for 7 innings. I'm not taking any credit away from them, but we gave them some opportunities. We walked some guys, hit some guys, made a few errors. I mean, if you watched the 7 innings on Friday night, you got to see pretty much our whole season. We had pieces of every bit of what we've done this season. We had some great hitting, good base running, excellent starting pitching from Bo Williams. But then we also had some opportunities where we lost command of the strike zone. We made some errors, misplayed a couple fly balls. These are things that have happened, throughout the year. So we were unable to beat them and to keep going, and good luck to them. But proud of, considering what we've lost and all the people that were in new positions this year, proud of what we did, proud of being the 4th seed in the playoffs. And like you guys said, we're at 6 years in a row in the playoffs for us. That's not a bad run. There's not that many teams in the state that I think can say such things. And unfortunately, up until, again, on Friday, we had 5 years in a row where we'd at least made it out of the first round and advanced to the Sweet 16. So we broke that streak on Friday. But we have a lot of guys coming back for next year, and we're we're happy and excited for the future.
Go ahead and talk about your seniors. Give those guys some love. They did a great job this year. Talk about those guys.
Sure. We Connor McCann played shortstop for us this year. He's one of our seniors. He's leading hitter. He hit 375. Mason Lehman played shortstop for us and hit 301. Struggled a little bit in the middle of the year where he was just literally hitting the ball as hard as he can, but right at people. So his numbers are a little bit deceiving. The two, he talked to the team after wins and losses, and on Friday night I really wanted to point out that Bo and Gage Williams were so important to us this year. They had very few innings between them last year with some of the guys we had that were pitching for us last year, but Bo Williams led the team in innings at 46 2/3, and also at ERA with a 1.8 ERA. Gage Williams threw 38 innings for us. So those guys really carried the pitching staff, and they ate up a lot of innings for us that we weren't sure, frankly, going into the season where the innings were going to come from, but those two stepped up in a big, big way. So those four seniors that played varsity for us this year really had a huge impact on our season. And, I mean, let's be honest, we would not have been there Friday without the impact of those guys, not just through this year. And then some of those guys, the McCann and the Lehman, they were a big part of our last couple of years also, and heading to the state Final Four last year. And Connor McCann came through in the state Final Four, got our 2 RBIs, came through on Friday night, got the big RBI to tie it and give us a chance to take the lead there, and then we just couldn't hold on to the lead.
It's weird thinking those Williams boys are going to be out of high school. I can remember running around, it seemed like yesterday, little kids in Bay Point, and now they're graduating, going on. Crazy. You got any kids that could be going and playing at the next level?
Yes, Connor McCann's going to go to Eckerd College and play. The other 3 that I mentioned, Mason Lehman, Bill and Gage Williams, they all have interests from a couple of places that they haven't decided what they're going to do, or frankly, if they're going to do it. That's like I know the Williamses are really good golfers. When I understand, that's not something I'm particularly talented in, but so they may have an opportunity to do that in college as well. But all 4 of our seniors who have played with us this year have opportunities to go on and play somewhere, and they're just 3 of them are just trying to decide what it is they want to do.
All right, tell us what's next. Baseball's never over in Bay County. So when do they get back together, when they get cranking it up? Give us kind of a rundown what's going to be going on high school this summer and in 2 weeks from now.
We'll take a week or so off to sort of recoup a little bit from the season. Maybe more for me than for them. Some of us are older than others. It takes us a little longer.
Yes,
but we play a little bit of baseball in the summer. We don't do a huge summer at Arnold, and I think a lot of the schools are cutting back a little bit on their summer programs because most of these kids, almost all of these kids, go play travel ball in the summer, and they go traveling around the Southeast and getting more at-bats and more innings and more experience. And so we do a little bit here, but we also leave them to experience those things and then come back in the fall and see who shows back up, see if anybody, see who comes in from 8th graders coming in to be our new 9th graders, and see what we have in the fall and get back after it with fall ball and play a decent-sized schedule in the fall to see what we have and then get back after it.
I'm just curious. A lot of coaches believe in the weight room, some not maybe as much as others, but what about the weight training? What's your belief in that?
Well, we're strong believers in it. I think we have some guys that still need to get some work in there. We have actually we have a class throughout the day in our regular day, or we have had for the last few years, where we can get a lot of the baseball players together and get them in the weight room and push some weight around, try and get bigger and stronger. They try and emphasize to the players that if you turn on a college baseball game and you look at those guys physically and you look at yourself physically, that's the difference. It's not as much some of the skills, but it's just the raw man strength. And obviously these years with people getting 5 or 6 years of eligibility and NIL deals and 25-year-olds playing in college, I mean, it's a big difference physically. And so we try our best to emphasize that they need to get to that point to give themselves a chance. And certainly in the summer, they have a lot of time to themselves and doing, what they think that they need to do. But we certainly emphasize the fact that they should be working on themselves physically, because it's really the biggest difference between a high school freshman and a college sophomore is just they're a couple years bigger and stronger. It makes a large difference walking right onto a college campus.
Well, Coach Jones, we appreciate you, man. Appreciate the time you spent with us this year. Great job. We will talk to you soon. If you need us for anything, just give us a call, okay?
All right, I appreciate what you guys do, making me wake up every Monday morning. But I really appreciate what you guys do for the kids and for the program. It's a great service you guys do to these kids. And
we appreciate you too, Coach. You do a lot too. So
thank you, buddy.
All right, well, thank you.
All right,
have a
man.
good-
Talk to you later. Thank you, Coach. All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. Hey, everybody loves Mexican food, and you just talked about Arnold High School. If you're over that way anytime, Pepper's Mexican Grill on Panama City Beach Parkway. Before all Arnold sporting events, go have a great meal. And today is Military Day. 10% off your bill. And don't forget, you get a house margarita. The next one's free.
Nice.
Same thing for draft beer. The next one is free. Pepper's Mexican Grill. Go check it out. Tell them Coach sent you, and you'll be glad you did. Great place to have birthday parties, by the way. Also, Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go get checked out. All you females out there, breast cancer, skin cancer, 2 things you really got to worry about, among other things. Dr. Ward can take care of you, man. Offices throughout the Panama, Florida. Listen to him every Wednesday, 7:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
While other radio stations are playing national contests with winners in Timbuktu, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has real local winners.
Hi, this is Dave Neat from Panama City Beach.
Bona fide and certified local.
Man, that's fantastic. Oh, my goodness.
Keep listening to Win on the Gulf Coast.
Hell yeah. Let's do it. I just won $250 from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory, or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
Ready to break free from the ordinary? Find your next escape in a new 2026 Kia Sportage from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia, now offering 0% APR for up to 48 months and a 90-day payment deferral on the purchase of a new 2026 Kia Sportage. There's never been a better time to drive and build your home. The Sportage delivers bold style, impressive versatility, and a refined interior built for whatever the road takes you to. From daily drives to weekend getaways, stay connected and confident every mile. The road is yours. And remember, Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile powertrain warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com.
Offer from Kia Finance America on the purchase of a new 2026 Kia Sportage with $20.83 per month per 1,000 financed in 48 months. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers valid through 5/4/26.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! Get out to Newby's, have a great time. 4 great locations.
Yes,
Newby's
sir.
2 on the curve. Go have a great time. Watch all the sporting events. Head on down to the mothership. If you're in town, St. Andrews, big, beautiful blue facility.
Right. And
Glenn, what do you got for us today on FSU?
Well, we'll start off with some success. We'll start off with softball. They went to Georgia Tech, and they swept Georgia Tech. They were 4-0 4-0 on Friday, and the Jazzy Frenzies, I can't even say it hardly. She pitched a no-hitter, so that's her second one this year. So congratulations to her. On Saturday, they won 4-3, and then on Sunday it was 8-5 in 9 innings, and so they tied it up in the top of the 7th with a home run, and then Isha Torres is still tearing it up. She's batting .586, which leads the nation. She's also the record for one season for the batting average is .589, so she's right there hugging on it all the time. So, and then she is also setting a record right now. She's at 145 attempts in the field with no errors, and so she's still going. So, if you've watched her play, the footwork she does is unbelievable. So now. On Tuesday, they will travel to Florida. So it'll be number 8 FSU or number 10 FSU, depending on what service you like, D1 or USA softball. But they will go to Florida on Tuesday. Florida's number 5. They're 47-7 and 16-5 in the SEC, which makes them rank number 3 in the SEC. FSU's number 1 in the ACC. So that'll be a good round, and we'll see that. And then FSU won the last time they played. So here we go. It's just like the baseball thing. So everything's going on. The baseball team, they're 29-14, and they are number 5 in the ACC at 12-8. They are ranked number 8 with the D1 services. They got swept by Stanford, who's not even ranked. So they'll probably drop again. But they lost to Stanford. They traveled all the way out there, which, you know, when you go all the way out there, everything's later, or, you know, even though it's 7 o'clock their time, it's 10 o'clock in Tallahassee. So, but, you know, that's the softball team went out there and lost 3 in a row to Stanford, too. So Stanford's not a good place for us right now. But it was Stanford 4-3 on Friday night. Stanford 8-7 and 11 innings on Saturday, and it was 7-4. On Sunday, so they got swept, and they will host USF on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So that's what's going on right now. And another little sport, the men's golf team, they finished 5th in ACC at a -1 for the team, 863 strokes. But what that does, that puts them in match play, the top 8 play match play. So they will play Sunday. They will start with Georgia Tech. So you eliminate each team until you get down to, you can get sent to the regional and national. But right now, they're still in the 5th place, and they're fighting it out with Georgia Tech. So we'll see what goes on with that. And if you watch the draft, which I didn't because it reminds me of getting drafted, so I never watched the draft. So, but Darrell Jackson was picked up in the 4th round, 103rd pick by the New York Jets. He, you know, was a defensive lineman. He's the first FSU player picked in the lottery on 2026. The ones that weren't really picked, they've also been offered now. Squirrel White has been offered by the Chicago Bears. He's a wide receiver and a kick returner. Jacob Rizzi, he by the New England Patriots. He's an offensive lineman. He's played guard, center, and tackle. And then Jerry Wilson, who played in the secondary, he has been given a try with the L.A. Chargers. So we'll see. I almost said Rams. I'm so used to saying Rams in L.A. But anyway, they changed. But that's what's going on right now. Beach volleyball is playing in the championship. They're ranked number 4 in the nation, I think so. And then track is always good. They'll be playing this weekend. Running this weekend. So that's going on.
Yeah, the draft was kind of interesting. You don't see many FSU guys going high rounds. That kind of tells you where the program's at right now.
Certainly, it's a drought. Yeah, somebody mentioned it. You know, it's just gone downhill since 2013, kind of. So,
yeah.
So.
Well, you had the 1 year in the 23 season, but a lot of those were players they brought in for a year, maybe two.
He talked them into staying for 2, and then the committee.
I don't know that it was Norvell talked them into it versus
they wanted
them as a group, because that particular set of guys were real close knit.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
it's just sad. All the years Bowden was there. Look, all the guys that were drafted. Jimbo kind of kept it rolling.
He did,
and then you don't have guys who can play on. You got guys that play got a game on Saturday and they can't play, they don't have the ability to play on Sunday, you're not going to win as much as the other team if they got them.
Yeah,
That's just a fact.
Yeah, I got a little announcement. If you played a slow pitch softball here in the 80s and 90s, Stan Todd stands out because of home runs and everything. He's not doing well, and if you played against him, he is at Gulf Coast Hospital. He's under the weather, so a little prayer for Stan and his family. I went there yesterday and talked to some of them and everything. So be sure and kind of reach out. And he's in room 362 in Gulf Coast Hospital.
You got the local high school scores?
Yeah, we had the. I was going to say one thing. The rural starts on Friday, and then now today the girls' district softball starts. So Wednesday we'll have some scores for that. But as we know, it was Mosley 5, Columbia 2.
John Mosley.
Yep. Niceville 3, Beachside 2. So Mosley will go over to Niceville. That will be on Friday, and then St. Augustine was 10-6 over Arnold. We know that, but St. Augustine has to come back even further west. They have to go to Choctaw on Friday.
Wow.
So anyway, and then we know that Fernandina Beach beat Bay 10-0, and we know 13-0, and we know that they're playing West Florida. So that's going on. In 2A, Trinity Catholic 6, Bozeman 4, and then.
And that was a away game for Bozeman.
That was a away game, yeah, in Ocala. So then Trinity Catholic will play Trinity Christian, so we'll have all the religions rounded up on Friday in Jacksonville. So see what goes on with that. And rural really starts on Friday. You're talking about a lot of teams, but they don't have to play as many games. I think 3 games, and you're in the state championship game. So, but anyway, and then the girls' district starts today. That's going to be a lot of softball in this area, and so get ready for that. And then whatever else can go on.
Patrick, going forward with the FSU NFL draft 2027, do you think they'll have many players off this team get drafted in 2027? Probably not.
There's a few that I think could get drafted. Some of the player development, but I don't know so much player development as the recruiting and transfer portal philosophy that he has. Norville has in Tallahassee with the type of players. He's got more of a philosophy of, I'm going to try and plug somebody into a position that fits our system, which is not a bad thing, but that doesn't necessarily equate to the best player available out there.
Right. And then development, they have started the last 4 quarterbacks have been a transfer portal person, and here they're going to do it again. They're doing it again, and they're getting a guy that's 5-17. I mean, that's the guy you want to lead when you got a guy they say is capable of running the offense right there. So
it's been there.
Yeah, and so why doesn't anybody want to sign to be a quarterback at FSU if you're not going to get to play? Because they're going to bring somebody in over you.
Yeah, it's just like high school athletes. They're going to sign or go to schools where they can get a scholarship, where the coach helps get them a scholarship where they can win and be successful. Same thing for college. They're going to go where they feel like a coach can develop them to get into. In the old days, it used to be that way. Now, it's NIL money has more to do with anything. But in the old days, that's why Alabama won so much. Nick Saban got those guys in the NFL.
Well, one of the things I keep watching the last several years with Florida State, you look at the offensive line, and you don't have guys that come in as freshmen and work their way into the starting role. They're bringing in a junior. Most of the time it's a senior. It's a one-year guy. He comes in. He started somewhere else at a lower-tier school, and now he's the starter on the offensive line. I just don't see that gel long-term that produces the running game and the protection of the quarterback that allows the quarterback, as you're talking about, to develop. It's you've got to come in, run for your life, get it out quickly, because they don't play a lot together. They may have 100 starts, but they don't have 3 games together.
Yeah,
and that makes a difference.
The offensive line is a unit by itself. They don't need it. They don't need anybody, but everybody needs them. And so you got to keep that. Well, and since we're talking football, I got to give a shout out to Arnold's flag football team. They won their district.
Saw that.
So, and then congratulations to them. They will host Tuesday night. Yeah. They will host at 7:00. I'm not sure where they play, but you know what? Football is football. So if you want to go see some football, get out there to Arnold and watch them play.
See some pretty football players out there. Yeah. I hope FSU gets it rolling. I don't know. Have you talked to any of the players on this team lately? I just wonder how they're gelling, how they're getting along.
Not since the spring. I've watched some videos. I'm seeing a couple of the players that are taking that next step. One guy to watch out for will be Sam Singleton Jr. This next year. I know in what I've seen in the spring, he's looked really good. He was really good last year. He led the team in yards per carry.
Right.
It's just a matter of him getting the carries and not a transfer guy. And that's been the case with a lot of the position guys. They bring in the transfer, and he goes against the kid. Singleton, this is his 4th or 5th year there at Florida State.
Yeah. So, and then I'm sure Deuce Robinson will sign with somebody. So.
All right, I want to give a shout out to Rick Green, Arnold's athletic director.
Hey, Rick, how you doing?
He, unbelievable softball coach.
Yes, sir.
He is now Florida High School Athletic Association 4A District 2 Coach of the Year. So congratulations, Rick Green, Coach of the Year. 600 wins this year, incredible. And the word is, I don't know if I should say it or not, but I've heard this could be his last year. And he just done a wonderful job all those years as the softball coach at Arnold High School. And he's done a great job as athletic director. So, Rick, if you are retiring, we will miss you, no doubt about that. But great job. Congratulations. Florida High School Athletic Association Coach of the Year, 4A District 2, Coach Rick Green for girls softball. Great job. All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. We had a great time there yesterday. You and I have talked about they're going to do a special thing for Donna. Our girlfriend passed away, and she will be missed. We used to eat lunch with her quite a bit, and I've done it for years with her. And I told her, I said, the first thing she'll see is her husband in heaven, so that's a good thing. Bless her heart. Get out to J. Michael's, have a wonderful time. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to look better, feel better. Jason Kovaletsky can make that happen for you. Listen to Jason every Tuesday and Friday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Also, don't forget about Newbies and FSU update that we just did. Thank you, John and Charlotte. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you tired of little radio stations with little signals that drop off at the edge of town?
He did say,
Oh, bless their hearts. This is the most powerful sports signal in the Panhandle. You found the Sports Talk Monster. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 81 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, very little wind, and a temperature of 68. About the same tomorrow, around 79 with mostly sunshine and a wind coming out of the south-southeast at 9 miles per hour. Partly sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and hot around 78. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
At Brock Lawn and Pest Control, we're proud to be awarded the distinction of being Quality Pro certified.
Our technicians have passed rigorous training in eco-friendly application and prevention of pest treatments.
Part of the program is the practice of integrated pest management.
IPM's goal is to prevent pests from ever entering your home. It includes inspection, prevention, education, and, when necessary, application.
We're proud to be Quality Pro certified.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, the standard and level of trust.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Some sad news to me. When got an athlete department dropping sports because of NIL, and we're going to see more and more of this. But this is an SEC school where you have plenty of money, but not enough, evidently. Arkansas is dropping men and women's tennis for the 2026 season. I don't like that. I don't like that whatsoever. You know, you got 20 million plus you're going to have to share with the college football players, another 12 plus million for the basketball players. Glenn, there's only so much money. As you know, you were County 8, or you were Bay High School athletic director. You know there's only so much money go around. And to see these universities, especially the Big Ten SEC, do that. This is the first I've heard of an SEC school doing this, and I'm not saying it hadn't happened, just that I know of, dropping these, what they call minor sports, which if you play tennis and you got a scholarship to play tennis, it's not a minor sport to you.
Right.
What's your thoughts on this? It makes me sad to see this happening.
It does, but it's. I think we were talking about this in the break. You know, it may be a lot more coming because
no doubt.
Unless if they don't stop this NIL for football now, you know, Title IX is going to come in there. If you're not paying, you know, the female athletes what you're paying them, you don't have to pay that much, but they have to have some percentage of that. So,
but if it's coming from an outside source, an NIL source, that's
it
not
is
school funding, and the school doesn't have anything to do with it. So does Title IX play a role in that in terms of a legal?
This is really not. You can't say it's NIL. This is the revenue sharing. The 20 million plus is from revenue sharing. That's why you're having these sports cuts, not the NIL. So it's kind of a little bit different. Basketball. So you got $32 million going to have to be taken out of your budget that could pay for tennis, travel, and games and stuff like that for men and women. But when you take out $32 million across the board, you're going to have to make cuts. And you're going to have revenue sharing. That's done. It's going to have to happen. Yeah. And they settled on 20-something. I think the SEC Big Ten is going to be 20-something. Now, I'm not sure what the ACC is going to be. If you want to compete with the big boys, it's going to have to be close to $20+ million to do that. So how many more sports are going to be cut?
Oh, plenty. I mean, look at let's get down to it. What makes money?
Football,
makes
basketball.
Money. Basketball makes enough money to keep basketball floating and going and doing other things.
Right.
Track doesn't make money. Soccer doesn't bring money in. Hockey doesn't bring money in. You know.
So here's what I'm reading right here on this. They're discontinuing the men's and women's tennis, cutting both teams. That's approximately $2.5 million annually that will be reallocated to other sports. Facilities renovations to the soccer and softball facilities were initiated at the same time.
Wow.
So they're going to renovate the soccer and the softball and then cut the tennis teams.
Yeah. Softball is getting popular. Girls softball is popular. It is.
But tennis is a little bit of a cheap sport to kind of run.
That's what I was thinking. Well, travel. It's got to be travel.
It's got to be the travel cost because once that you lay down that concrete, the pad.
Yeah, and they got them there.
There's upkeep, but it's not upkeep like a baseball field.
Right. I think it's all travel.
But yeah, maybe. But you know
some of the equipment,
tennis rackets and all
coaches,
that,
trainers, travel, and then the scholarships. I mean, $2.5 million is not a lot for an athletic budget that's $200 million, but when you have scholarships that are paying the way.
What's next? Swimming? How many teams? Like Vandy doesn't have a softball team, I don't believe. I don't think Vandy has a softball team.
I don't think they do.
Here's a great question, though. So you cut tennis for both men's and women's out. How much did they just lose in future donations for the university?
Yeah.
Because a lot of those are going to go on to be high professional people.
I know where he's going. I know what he's doing.
It's okay.
I get it.
We'll survive.
I think you'll see more and more of this going forward, which is that's what I hate, man. Football paid for everything else, and that's where everybody knows it's always been that way. And now because I don't know how we got here. I don't. I really. For me, the football scholarship was like getting a home run. If you got a football scholarship, you've had a chance to be pretty successful. Now they want them. I don't mind the kids getting money. They should have been paying them something along the way. Spurs said, 11, 12 years ago, they got to pay them. We're screwing up. And now he was right.
What I see some of these lower tier sports that we're talking about going to is they're going to go away from a sanctioned sports at the university, and they're going to become a club at the university that will then have sponsors come in and donate it. As I'm reading with this, they're cutting tennis for men's and women's at Arkansas, but they have a bass club.
They do?
Yes. And they're fishing at Lake Harris in a tournament this past weekend. Well, those kids don't pay their own way when they do that, but the club does, and then the club gets sponsors and other stuff for that. I see that as the future for a lot of these sports in collegiate athletes, where it's going to go away from the university funds it becomes a club, then the club goes out and gets sponsors, and that funds the way they participate.
Matt, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
See you. I hadn't seen you in a while. You look good there, brother.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
We were talking about SEC with all the money they have.
Yeah.
Them and the Big Ten, more money than any other conferences, these two. And Arkansas is dropping men in tennis for the 2026 football season. We were talking about the revenue sharing, $20+ million for football, $12+ for basketball.
Wow.
And that's the reason you're starting to see some of these minor sports being cut. And they're not minor for the kids that play these sports or the parents and families like that. We're thinking more and more this is going forward. And I don't like it. I don't think you like it.
I don't like it either, no.
Yeah. But it's the world we live in. And you can't blame them, Glenn. You ran a program. If you don't have the money, you got to start doing stuff.
Right. And then if you cut back off the big 3 or 4, then you're looking at problems there too.
Well, here's the other one that we're not even talking about. Football just increased from 85 to 105 scholarships.
Yeah.
If you look at this, there's probably 20 tennis players.
Right. But
there's your big budget right there.
All right. But now instead of having what they had, you can't have any walk-ons. Now they all have to be on scholarship. But you get back to the tennis part, though. You're gonna travel, and especially if you got to go to California and back, maybe once, not twice, and then you got to go to Syracuse and back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a little different thing. So I don't know how to solve it. Because but it's just there. It's eking away every year. It's going to get less and less, and so then it's going to be what do we do?
That goes back to the way we've redone college sports with the different alignments for the SEC and Big Ten and all that. We got to get more back to regionalize so you can have these lower sports.
Regionalize.
Well,
good luck with that, the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's a huge saving that you could have. If you're not flying from Tallahassee out to Stanford, with 30 people in tow, you're going to
remember you used to have the East-West, the divisions. Maybe that's something looking in tennis. Let's have the East-West divisions.
I can see these schools later. You're going to have a college that sets up where they have their own league. Basketball has their own type league. And then all these other sports will have their own leagues where you might not have a Stanford in the ACC in tennis. Right. They would be in a West Coast, their own division and league that way.
Yeah.
Some of your smaller, well, not smaller programs, some of your smaller conferences do that, like with Conference USA. Like Louisiana Tech plays everything but football in Conference USA or something like that. Just an example.
Right. Matt, let's talk about your business, man. What's going on down there? Everything good?
Everything is great. Thrive Alternative Medicine over by Cox Pools on PCB Boulevard. Other than the construction, which is there, and the traffic.
Yeah, it will be for another 15 years, too, by the way.
We medical marijuana cards for people, counseling, and also offer an Emsella chair, which is good for women that have leaking urine, sexual dysfunction for men. And come on down and see us, and we'll take good care of you.
All right, I want to talk more to you about that in a little bit. Right now, let's talk more some of our other wonderful people. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Not even close. The heat is coming. You know it. Go ahead and get it serviced. I would advise you get done at the end of May, beginning of June. Get it serviced. It lasts longer. It'll run better, save you money with your power bill. Go local, go Stevenson Air Conditioning. Not even close. Best guy, most honest guy out there, that is Stevenson Air Conditioning. Jason graduated from Moses High School. The guy's incredible. Steve Burdishaw, you love bikes. Electrical bikes are taking over the world. I saw so many yesterday walking. It was incredible. Get you his electrical bike from Steve's Bike Shop on 23rd Street. Also, TK Vandine Roofing General Contractor and Kyle Vandergriff. Listen to Kyle every Friday. As a matter of fact, he's coming in Thursday this week. TK Vandy Roofing General Contractor. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Alabama Crimson Tide. Be right back.
Wake up with ESPN Northwest Florida. The Coach James Hale Show drags you out of bed weekdays 7 to 9.
It weighed 827 pounds.
And for the ride home, the fastest 2 hours on radio. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
You better hope you're ready.
Morning drive and the afternoon commute are live and local on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 81 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, very little wind, and a temperature of 68. About the same tomorrow, around 79 with mostly sunshine and a wind coming out of the south-southeast at 9 miles per hour. Partly sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and hot around 78. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Operation Spay Bay Vaccine Clinic in Fountain, Florida, coming up May 16th. Yes, at 17822 Center Drive, Fountain, Florida. Operation Spay Bay will be having a vaccination clinic on May 16th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Free rabies vaccines with $20 exam. Going to be in your area 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on May the 16th in Fountain, Florida. Operation Spay Bay. Get them fixed today.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Now that's a spicier food demo!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Stand up, put your hand over your heart,
and face Nick Saban.
There you go, or Bear Bryant, either one. Matt, this is the greatest fight song in all of college football history. Hey, Alabama, Crimson Tide. I don't hear anybody else singing it with me. Unbelievable. Y'all are rude.
Well, I thought today, the Alabama update, they were going to play Rocky Top.
No. Alabama update. Thank you, Tennessee. I know what you're talking about. Alabama update is brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. I love Jason. You talking about local. We want always support local businesses. I don't do anything national. We got local guys in here right now that live here, pay taxes, wonderful people, grew up here. And Jason, he graduated from Moses High School. He started this business, family owned. They knocked it out of the ballpark, man. This thing's exploded. People are going with them left and right. You know why? Because they know they're dealing with somebody that's honest. Somebody's not going to try to take every penny out of your pocket. Stevenson Air Conditioning, you call, make an appointment. They're on time. They get it done the first time. I'll never forget telling him I want the biggest unit. I don't care what it costs. He said, Coach, I can do that, but you don't need it. He explained to me square footage. He explained a lot of things to me. He saved me a lot of money. That's when I love the guy. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1, not even close. Get it serviced now before summer gets here, and then before winter. Your unit will last longer. You'll save money on your power bill. And you get a new one, actually pay for itself over a period of time because you save so much money on your power bill. It's incredible. All right, you can't win without players. You can lose with good players, but you can't win without good players. Now, Alabama SEC draft. Dominated. Matt, let me ask you something. Alabama had 10 players drafted. Florida State didn't have hardly any. Florida State beat Alabama like a drum. Like a drum. I don't get it. Alabama's football coach. If you're the coach at Georgia, if you're the coach at LSU, you're the coach at Florida. Well, never mind. Florida State and Alabama about the same. I won't say that. But, man, if you get beat by a team like FSU, that how many games they win this year? 5? 5 games. But they beat you like a drum week 1. And you had 10 NFL players on your roster. They had hardly any. Now, season goes on, you get better. You're doing pretty good. But then you get beat on homecoming. Then you go play in the SEC championship game against Georgia. You get embarrassed. And then you make the playoffs. You win a close game on the road, but then you get beat by 35 points by Indiana. If Ohio State had got embarrassed in the Big Ten championship, and they got beat by Indiana in the playoffs by 35 points, do you think Ohio State Buckeyes would give their coach an $87.5 million contract, a 7-year extension?
No, I do not.
What is going on in Alabama? Have we just become nice, civilized?
They have a lot of faith in DeBoer.
I think Billy Sexton has a lot to
Somebody
I
does.
think Glenn just knocked it out of the ball. Billy Sexton. When Michigan came sniffing, they got that right. No, but really, I'm kind of being a smart aleck about it. I like DeBoer. I think he's a good coach. I do. Does he fit at Bama? We're going to find out. Year 3, if it's a good year, then everything's going to be better going forward. Now, if it's not, then I think Bama made a huge mistake by doing what they did. And why would you rush in and do it now? Why would you not wait till after the 3rd year to do it? And this is Alabama. You're expected to win big there. You've already lost 8 games. Nick Saban did not leave the cover bare. There were players there. We just had 10 guys drafted. The second most in the SEC, tied with Texas A&M.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And the buyouts are unbelievable, too, for these coaches.
Right.
If they don't work out, the universities give them.
It's 60. All right, next year, if it falls apart, loses 5 games or whatever, they're going to owe him $67.5 million. That's crazy.
That's crazy money.
That's if they fire him.
Yeah, if they fire him.
If he leaves, which is one of the reasons
he's got to pay the university $10 million if he leaves.
Well, or the other school.
Why leave though?
Well, he almost did.
He almost did. That's true.
That's the reason you saw
want to go, let him
the
go.
contract extension. And I see both sides. Alabama's position was kind of like, well, if he leaves, who are we going to get? Who's out there that will come?
Kiffin.
And I think there's a.
They're out there.
They're out there.
There was one, Indiana
Yeah.
found one. It was called James Madison. He worked for Nick Saban for 4 years. They're out there.
Hey, I think I don't know that the uppers would take it, but I think Dabo down in Clemson, with the way everything's happening right now, if DeBoer would have left, I think he would have been your coach.
I'd have been all right with it. A lot of people say no, they don't want him. I'd have taken him in a heartbeat. Let's go back and look at the SEC in this draft period. Alabama, Texas A&M led the SEC. Both schools had 10 players drafted. Georgia had 8 players drafted. They got 15 of them coming back with a young football team just won an SEC championship team. Those guys are coming back. Watch out for the Bulldogs. Kirby overachieved. Did Alabama underachieve? I say yes. 10 NFL players. You get beat by 35 points to Indiana in the play, even though they're the national champs. You get embarrassed by Georgia. You weren't ready to play week 1 against FSU. I'm just telling you what I think. My opinion, I could be completely wrong. I think they underachieved last year. They got better as the year went on, and that's a good thing. Could they run the football at all?
No, not really.
Are they a physical football team anymore? Not really.
Well, they got better at the end, but you run into 2 buzzsaws there.
So. Let's look at Florida and LSU. They came in 3rd with the most players drafted. They had 7. Did Florida underachieve? Yes, there's a new coach there. Did LSU underachieve? Yes, there's a new coach there also. So some universities you got to win big at, or you're going to be in trouble. At number 4 in the SEC was Missouri, Texas. They both had 6 players drafted. Both of them, both head coaches are back. And Texas has a shot to be really good next year. Should be, could be, better be, or he'll be gone. Tennessee came in 5th, and Auburn. Auburn and Tennessee had 5 players drafted, okay? And they got more free agency leaving from Auburn also. They got contracts for free agency. So that's pretty good. Did they underachieve? I'd say they did.
Yeah,
There's no doubt those two programs underachieved. Kentucky, Arkansas, both, they came in 6 overall. They both had 4 players drafted. South Carolina had 3. Both those programs, all 3 of those programs underachieved. 2 have brand new head football coaches. The other coaches on the hot seat. Ole Miss and Mississippi State both had 2 players drafted. Lane Kiffin can coach. Lane Kiffin can motivate, and he can get talent. They got that. I thought they had more. I thought they had more people drafted than that. Now that becomes some of them aren't eligible to be drafted that will be in the future.
Right.
So I get that. And Kentucky came in last with only 1 player drafted. And guess what? The quarterback that was up for the Heisman did not get drafted.
No, he did not.
No, he did not.
He'll go play somewhere.
He just signed with the Ravens a free agency contract. I think that happened today. But one thing that hurt him, he hang around Johnny Football, made some stupid comments, and some of the issues off the field. And with NFL, they don't play around with that stuff. They invest too much money.
Unless you're already there.
Yeah.
And then there's a
or unless
different...
you're really, really, really good. But anyway, I just, again, I was a head coach in the state of Florida for 30 years, coached college football. You cannot win without talent, but you can lose with them. You can lose with them, but you can't win without them. And I just thought Bama this past football season underachieved. I just want to know you 4 guys' opinion. Am I right or wrong?
I mean, I do think it was some underachievement, and I agree with what you're saying, but you also have to look at it. You can have the 11 most talented guys on the field right now. They can be way more talented, way bigger than the other 11 guys on the field. But if those 11 other guys are playing together as a team and the other 11 guys are just out there running around not knowing what they're doing because they're not coached up, guess who's going to win? It's not going to be the 11 guys that are running around not working together. Because it is a team sport. It tells how teams work. And to have a team, you need a leader. And if you're not going to be leading, you ain't got no team behind you. You just got a whole bunch of individual followers.
Whose responsibility for that football team?
Oh, I don't know. I'd probably say a head coach or something.
There you go. There you go.
Good guess.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm looking at where DeBoer came from, Washington, and where they're ranked. They're 1 behind where Alabama is in the early preseason. They had almost the same record as Alabama did last year. Granted, the schedules aren't as difficult, but it's hard to justify an $87 million contract when the coach is descending on the level that the program has been on.
Mm-hmm.
And the school where he was ascending after he left.
And the guy that should have to answer for this if it goes south is the athletic director. Why would he do that? Because Michigan came looking,
pressure,
and this was done back then. Mm-hmm. He didn't want him to leave. And you're at the University of Alabama. If you want to leave Alabama, leave. I don't think we need to beg somebody or give somebody a lot of money to stay. And when you've lost 8 games your first 2 years, and the things I saw the first 2 years they did, it was amazing to me that we had never seen. I'd never seen some of the things I've seen the last couple of years. Now, saying all that, I know how difficult it is to follow a legend like Nick Saban. The rules have changed. People don't work them as hard as they used to because NIL and transfers. They know they can leave. So I get all the things he went through. So year 3, he might have a great year, and I'll be eating my word, and I hope he does because I think he's a good coach. I think he's a great man. If he can have a good year this year, then that's great. That's a good thing.
The transfer portal's changed a lot of things, but I still don't think 3 years is enough time to come in and take a program that had a system that Nick Saban developed over, 12, 13 years, 16 years, and then you're going to revamp the whole thing to a more spread, wide open, not physical, running the ball downhill type program, which affects your defense.
Right.
That's what everybody forgets. Your offensive strategy affects your defense. I don't think 3 years is enough time. I think he's going to be year 4 or 5 before he has everybody in place that he's wanting to run the style of offense he wants to run, which then to turn around and equates to the type of defense that
I will say
benefits
this
that.
for him, and I hope he does it. I hope he's our guy because he's a first-class act guy. He's a great man. I really think that. But they've got the number 1 quarterback in the country coming in. He signed Russell, which was the number 1 quarterback in some of those valuations. They've got players coming in, so that's a good thing. And those quarterbacks can run and throw kind of like what he had at Washington. And that's what he
his
needs.
style of offense.
Yeah. So you're right. But I would not give an extension after 2 years. I don't care if he won all the games. 2 years, I just wouldn't do that. Glenn, you're the AD. Would you have done that? You had somebody on your staff for 2 years. You give him an extension after 2 years?
No, because like you said, where he's coaching, he's making enough to do that. But if he wants to, like you, I'm like you. If they want to leave, let them leave. Because but guess what? When you leave, you're not coming back. So. But that's a hard choice. I'm
curious if within his contract, the university learned from other schools and put some clauses in there with wins, amount of losses and stuff.
No, what they
to
did,
reduce the buyout.
They called Florida State and said, "Hey, look, how can we do what you guys did?" Then they called Texas A&M and said, "Hey, how'd that work out with Jimbo? Should we do that and show that we're smarter than you are?" Come on. Well, I still can't believe this contract. Well, it's not against the coach. I'm not. I see what he's done before he got to Bama and did some great things. And hopefully, like you guys are talking about, more he gets his own people in there, own personality and coaches and all that kind of things should get a lot better.
Well,
and I hope it does.
As long as they got Billy Sexton representing them, they're going to get the money.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it's proven.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We got so many. Appreciate all of them. You looking for jewelry? It's only one place to go. David Adams, Russ, Amber, Patrick, love you guys. You guys do an incredible job over there in Lynn Haven. Go check them out. You can actually go in there, write down what you want, then call your husband and say, hey, they need to see you at David Adams. You walk in there and they'll see your wife's name and her wish list, and you can make her happy.
Mother's Day.
Ask Julie. I do that all the time. Anytime she wants something, she gets. It's not even close. I think I've spoiled her, Glenn.
You have. I'm going to get a text on that in just a minute, I'm sure.
And another thing I tell Julie all the time, stay out of the tanning beds. That could be deadly. Do not get in those things. Skin cancer can kill you quicker than anything. Well, not quicker, but skin cancer is deadly for women. Everybody. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right. Call Dr. Ward, make an appointment, and listen to Dr. Ward every Wednesday, 7:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We get back. What's going on with the Auburn Tigers? I'll tell you in just a second. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the sports talk and live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 81 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, very little wind, and a temperature of 68. About the same tomorrow, around 79 with mostly sunshine and a wind coming out of the south-southeast at 9 miles per hour. Partly sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and hot around 78. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
This is Patrick with Turf Pro Pest Control. Do you want a great looking lawn? Call Turf Pro. We will come out to your property and make a customized plan for your lawn. Then we will do the most important part, execute that plan. Turf Pro is a locally owned and operated company. We take pride in making your lawn beautiful. Call Turf Pro. You will love your lawn. The blue and yellow trucks make your lawn green. Find us on Facebook at Turf Pro PC.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels studio.
Boss, I got good news and bad news. What's the bad news? Your hat's on fire.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whoa! Eagle! Hey! You sure help with that one. You don't help with Alabama. Roar! Eagle! Hey! Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna, all you Auburn Tigers out there.
Stand up and yell.
Hey, you love beef over braised Lynn Haven. Yeah, we know you do. Get out and have a great meal. All you Mosey Dolphins before the big baseball games, playoff games. Just have a great time at Beef over braised Lynn Haven. Pat Perno, city commissioner over there, does a great job for Lynn Haven. But his restaurant's incredible. Great food, but the way they treat you like family, I love it, man. Great place to be. Get up Beef over braised. The key word here is Lynn Haven. Let's bring on a local Hall of Fame legend right now. He's on the phone, Coach Conrad Eugene Moon. Good morning, Coach.
How are you today? I need an extension.
Okay.
There's a lot of ways to go with that. So,
what did you think about that? You're a Georgia Bulldog. You're probably happy they did it.
I'm not happy about anything. I've been around Coach Manley too long.
Yeah, I get you. I get it.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, what about the Bulldogs? What are you going to talk about? Is that what you want?
No, like I said, I need an extension. If you're giving them out.
Oh yeah. Well, that's Alabama. So
yeah, that wouldn't happen at Georgia. That wouldn't happen at Ohio State. Big time programs don't do things like that, in my opinion.
No, not at all. No. I don't know. They just found a way of keeping their guys around. I know you got to be happy with all your draft picks at Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can draft them, developing them, getting to play every Saturday. We've had little problems, but we look good one weekend at home against some team. I don't want to talk about the rematch, though. Just don't bring up that.
No, that's not
some games count.
We had everybody that's not coming back next year that got drafted. We got 15 starters returning next year. So the 7 that aren't coming back, they all got drafted. So I guess that's pretty good.
That young team from the Georgia Bulldogs won the SEC championship. And
back to back.
Played one of the best playoff games all year. That Georgia-Ole Miss game was a great game, no doubt about that.
We stuck it up.
Conrad, let me tell you this: if you're the Auburn Tigers, if you're a football coach at Auburn, they wouldn't have done that. There's no way. Auburn will fire you in a heartbeat, and you better know it going into it. Auburn would never gave a contract like that.
No. But what are you going to do? Today's time. We're talking about agents coming to recruiting trips.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me sick.
Well, I told her the common denominator is Billy Sexton.
Oh, yeah. He's the wealthiest man in football.
I think he controls football.
That is true. Conrad, you played against Auburn. You know how that's I think it's a great job. Now, Auburn Tiger football program, the last 5 years has been as bad as it's been since the 1940s. It's been terrible. In my lifetime, I've never seen anything like it. But I still say it's one of the great jobs in college football. Look at, since the playoff era, Auburn ranks 11th in the nation with the most wins against top 10 teams in the playoff era. They've won 6 games like that. That's hard to do. They've done it.
Yeah.
And I know they've lost all these different coaches, but they're getting ready to spend $323 million on the stadium. That's how important football is at Auburn. I don't know if they're going to cut any sports to help offset this like Arkansas is doing or not.
They're canceling the tractor pull.
Yeah, something.
Well, $320 million. That's just a little touch up.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say.
But I want to to go back. I want to look at Auburn. You look at Auburn, and this is SEC schools with the most draft picks all time. You know who the number one school in the country in the SEC is, most draft picks?
Bama.
Well, it could be. But I have to say, this article had Oklahoma with one more. Oklahoma 419.
Yeah, you can't count Oklahoma in all-time SEC records because they've been here 2 years.
Number 2 is Alabama, 418. Auburn is actually 8th in the SEC, 16 teams. Auburn's had 303 players drafted in the NFL. You know who number 3 is?
LSU.
No. Your Georgia Bulldogs with 392 players. Next year, that will go up quite a bit. And at number 4, you would be right, is LSU, 380. Number 5, great job, unbelievable job. The Florida Gators, 380, also tied with LSU. Then you have Texas with 380. You got Tennessee, 367 at 6. 7th place was Texas A&M, 309. And 8th was Auburn, 303. Arkansas, now remember, back in the 60s, Arkansas was good. Arkansas was big a lot of different times. Arkansas.
And they were in the Southwest Conference.
Right. Yeah. Arkansas, 283. Ole Miss Rebels, 269. Missouri, 235. South Carolina Gamecocks, 216. Kentucky, 218. Then you have Mississippi State, 212. And the last place is Vandy with 132 players drafted.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah. But I'll say this, still think Auburn is a great job. I think they got the answer. I like their coach. I like his offense. Auburn's always been good on defense. I think Florida and Auburn both going to be good next year. That week 3 game, I think it's week 3. Auburn home versus Florida. That's a huge game. The winner of that game is going to do really well. The other one's still going to be a lot better.
Those two schools are the two sleeping giants in the SEC.
I think so too.
I mean, when they roll, they win national championships.
Yep.
And we got them both on our schedule.
Yes, you do. And you also have Alabama. You got Bama on the schedule. You got
we have
Tennessee.
Auburn, Florida every year.
Do y'all play LSU this year?
No.
Okay.
No. In Texas, they bagged out this year. We got Oklahoma this year.
Yeah. Well, that is the Auburn football update. And I got some more stuff on softball and also some baseball, but I'll hold off on that. Comrade, that Auburn-Georgia rivalry, you've experienced that. I actually saw some footage you playing that ball game. Talk about, seriously, how hard it is to win at Auburn. That place is crazy. We're talking about their fans and things. That's one of the loudest stadiums I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah. Now, of course, my point of view is a little skewed. Things weren't as crazy back then. You know what I mean? The stadiums were much smaller, but no, it's still a hard place to win at. Auburn's has always been great at home, and for the longest time, up until Kirby got to Georgia, this is the crazy stat most people didn't know that between Auburn and Georgia, we play every year. Each team won more games on the road than they did at home until Kirby got there.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is,
isn't that nuts?
It doesn't make sense. Why do you think that is?
They both have hedges.
I guess you just get up so much for that game, when it's on the road. Auburn and Florida and Georgia Tech, that's the games for Georgia. Probably still is.
Well, Kirby Smart has done some great things at Georgia. The 20 best all-time winning percentage schools in the country. Do you know where Georgia ranks?
And for all time, I have no idea.
Just outside the top 10 at number 11, 66.9%. Every time they play the game, they've won it. That's pretty good. That's actually really good.
Since he's been there, we got to be in the top 2 or 3.
Well, he's the reason. Yeah, he's the reason y'all moved up from where you're at right now. Yeah. All right, Conrad, you got anything else you want to share with us before we let you go?
No, just I guess Roll Tide. I don't know.
War Eagle. We're on the War Eagle one right now.
I know it, but I can't. If you see James Hale, you got to say something about Alabama.
Yeah, there you go. Good man. How's your neck? How you feeling?
It's getting much better. As a matter of fact, Glenn, they've moved me up from being able to play golf again to August now to June.
All right.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm really recovering quickly.
All right.
Hey, Coach, Glenn just started shaking.
Yeah, but he's been playing all along. I don't know what's going to happen to me. It'll be ugly for a month or so.
Oh, Lord. All right, Conrad. Thanks for calling, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, let's talk about some of our people. Get out to Beef Road Bracelet and have a great time. We got one of our special guests in here. Matt, how much time we got?
You got about 2.5 minutes. Let's roll.
All right, when we get back, I got to talk about you about something, so we'll hold off on you. Patrick, best way to get up with you. We want that yard look beautiful. We got spiders in the house. We got our yards being eaten up by bugs. What can we do?
Give us a call at our local number, 850-890-5820. We can develop a customized game plan for your property. We can do your indoor pest control. We can do your fire ant control, mosquito control, rodent control, turf control. We're one of the few companies out there that has experience in landscaping and irrigation that's in the pest control industry, so I can walk you through some of that and refer you out to some good landscapers that can get you taken care of on that.
And you work on some baseball fields, too.
Yes, we do a lot of athletic fields within this county. Your kids probably treat on them. You can look us up at Turf Pro PC on Facebook, and we can get out there and get you taken care of.
If you get a letter in the mail and your insurance company's threatening to drop you, don't panic. That roof is out so many years, and they try to intimidate you. All you got to do is call TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting. Ask for Kyle Vandergriff. He will set you straight. He'll take care of all the paperwork. He'll get them back in place, and you will be covered. Not only does Kyle do great roofing jobs, they can do anything. They can build a school. They can build a business. They can do anything you want. They design commercial, residential. They are the best. TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting. And Kyle will be on with us Thursday instead of Friday this week. Looking forward to that. Also, bikes. Everybody loves bikes. You got the standard bikes. You got electrical bikes. You got them all. New and used at Steve's Bike Shop. How good Steve's Bike Shop? Well, let me put it this way. They've been in business since 1979. On 23rd Street, cross street from Sam's. He's also local. Yeah, he's pretty local since 1979. It's also the swim coach at Mosley High School. Steve Burshaw is incredible. Get out to Steve's Bike Shop. You buy one from a national brand store. You get home, the tires are flat like always, last about a week. That won't happen when you go to Steve's Bike Shop. Take the one you just made a mistake buying, take it to Steve's Bike Shop, and he'll fix it up for you. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you sick of the old sports talk? The vanilla opinions? The polite debates? The hosts who are afraid to say what they really think? So are we. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is bringing the house. It's the new Sports Blitz.
Weekdays, 4 to 6.
We're starting arguments, not conversations. The Sports Blitz.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Mother's Day, celebrate the love that never fades with a gift that lasts forever. At Coin and Bullion Reserve's Fine Jewelry. Find Mother's Day jewelry made to honor every child, every chapter, every memory. From timeless classics to special pieces that show love. Jewelry that captures the unique bond between mother and child. Make her Mother's Day unforgettable at Coin and Bullion Reserve's Fine Jewelry. Your diamond headquarters for over 50 years.
Ready to break free from the ordinary? Find your next escape in a new 2026 Kia Sportage from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia, now offering 0% APR for up to 48 months and a 90-day payment deferral on the purchase of a new 2026 Kia Sportage. There's never been a better time to drive and build your home. The Sportage delivers bold style, impressive versatility, and a refined interior built for whatever the road takes you to. From daily drives to weekend getaways, stay connected and confident every mile mile. The road is yours. And remember, Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile powertrain warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Offer from Kia Finance America on the purchase of a new 2026 Kia Sportage with $20.83 per month per 1,000 financed in 48 months. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers valid through 5/4/26.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Man, I'm glad you're here today because I thought of you when I was watching this special. It was on Netflix. It was a story about Hulk Hogan. And it went through his whole life, what he went through, and then when he helped out President Trump, how things kind of changed with that. But when he had all these back injuries, replaced knees, his hands, but the main thing that got him was the back injury. And his buddy was on there talking about it. You know, they started out this series on his life with him alive. Then we all know he died of a heart attack, and they were talking about it. When he had the last back surgery, and previously when he had a back surgery, it didn't work out. He had to have all these back surgeries. And they showed the scars. They actually had some footage of the surgery itself. But what he would do was popping these pills and drinking vodka to help with the pain, and got hooked on that stuff. And if he would have had back in the day what you guys offer, he might still be alive today. Yeah. The pills, the drinking, everything affects your heart. And then the steroids affects things like that. You know, Arnold's had open heart surgery, I think twice now. Mm-hmm. His body, they said his body accepted the steroids like no other. I mean, he's adapted unbelievable, and he still had the heart issues. But what I'm getting at, I thought about that. I said, you know, what you offer, and I had a preacher tell me that too, the things you guys have that help people at the end of life when they've got cancer and things, is a blessing that keep people out of the pain. Talk about that, you know, how that helps people. Like if Hogan would have had that instead of the pills and the drinking and everything like that, he might be alive right now.
Yeah. Thrive Alternative Medicine is just one of many medical card places, but marijuana does offer the same effect on the opiate receptors, but with less respiratory inhibition, which causes you to die sometimes when you abuse opiates or stop them for a while and then go back to the same dose, and you realize your body is not ready for that and you just don't wake up. Marijuana doesn't do that. So we're finding more and more, and now that it's been deregulated from a class 1 to a 3, we're going to get more research and we're going to get more studies on humans, which is good because that's going to make it more of a valid substance. I feel bad for Hulk Hogan. I followed him a little bit, and I just think that even people who tell me they drink less when they start doing medical marijuana.
Yeah. People don't realize sugar and alcohol, if you want to get cancer, you want to screw your heart up, your body up, you keep, and I'm guilty of the sugar part big time. Mm-hmm. I'm a sugar freak, but I'm trying my best to do better at it. But you want to die younger, drink every day.
That's a good point. And the social acceptance of it is what I think makes it propagate. And also the alcohol industry is huge.
Oh, yeah. That's the reason you don't hear about all these things. They're out there and people know it. They just don't talk a whole lot about it.
It's kind of like tobacco in the day. They have a lot of influence. Yeah.
And what do you do? Every movie, every series you see, there's a lot of heavy drinking going on. And back before, you see a lot of heavy smoking. I guess you still do in the movies.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a cigarette in their hand. Everybody's drinking.
Well, used to smoke on the Andy Griffith Show when they had the 1960s stuff.
Yeah.
So he would be smoking on the show.
They make it look glamorous.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But
now, so there's people out there now with really bad knee replacement, back injury, stuff like that. How can they get up with you and get relief?
What's great is a lot of them say, I've had a problem with opiates in the past, or I don't want to ever having a problem with opiates. So they come to us prior to the surgery, get certified so that when they have their surgery, they can get medical marijuana products, and you don't have to smoke if you don't want to hurt, mess with your lungs. You can just take an edible gummy and feel better after your surgery and relax and get some sleep.
Yeah,
That's big.
That's big. Yeah, I encourage all you guys to watch this Hulk Hogan special on Netflix. Is playing right now. Everything he went through his life, how he started, his dad, the relationship with his father. He was a big boy now. Dang, he was a big guy. And you know what he was, Glenn? He reminded me of you. You know what he was really good at? He was in a band. The first thing he started out was in a band. He played the guitar. He would go in there and he was so big he stood out. And these wrestlers came in there, friends with him. They said, "You need to come watch." So he got to go watch them free. That's how he got it going doing that. I didn't know that. It was amazing. His relationship with his dad was not very good. And one other thing I learned watching that, I thought, man, it reminded me of Randy, that people in business do not want to give their political beliefs because you're going to upset one guy and make maybe the other guy happy. And when you're in business, you want to try to make as many people as you can happy, so you kind of keep your mouth shut. He said he did that for all those years, and then he finally went out and supported the president, got him elected. We're in the series. After that happened, he went out to California to be rewarded something, and he couldn't, he was booed. He was kind of attacked by a lot of people out there. He goes to New York, of all places, Madison Square Garden. They went crazy. As a matter of fact, there was a guy there that came up to him and said, "Man, I've been to so many events in this place." And he said, when you were in there, I've never seen anything like it, the way people, how electric it was when you showed up to do your matches, and even tonight, how electric it was. The only other person I've ever seen in that garden that was like this was Elvis Presley. He said, you're like the Elvis Presley of what you do. And anyway, it's really good. I encourage everybody to watch it. Went through how he became so famous and the situation with his wife. He met his wife, Glenn, when he was out in, I think it said Oakland. I think I could be wrong about that. And she was working at a bar, and he was in it. He had just made the movie Rocky. Remember Rocky? He was in there, and he flipped Stallone, all that kind of stuff. So
Thunderlips.
Yeah. That kind of made him famous. And the lady his wife, Linda, she goes, "My God, I just watched that movie last night. This guy's in the bar." They met up, and after that night, they were together for good. He went home that night with her, and they're having a good time, having a couple drinks, having a great time. He goes, "I'll be right back." She said he went inside, went to the bathroom. Said, "Dang, he's back there a long time." So he walked out completely butt naked. Glenn, did you used to do that on first dates?
No.
Cut that
second
out.
maybe, but not.
Yeah, second. But anyway,
it was like that the first time I met Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn came to the studio and did that one time. It got our attention.
But you know what I think? I think that this is a good point. Steroids probably with the wrestlers takes them out with their hearts more than
look
their
at how many have
backs.
died.
Yeah, look at how many have died from that. And
bodybuilders, same thing.
Yeah. And then it transfers into the kids in high school. I had a kid in my high school, Chris Getz, skinny kid like me at the time, and next thing you know, he was 330 pounds and played for Pitt on the offensive line for 4 years.
Yeah.
But steroids.
Yeah.
You knew he did them.
And it was a lot more back in the 70s and 80s. And then when the baseball, remember that baseball, they got kind of caught doing that? And kind of,
well, they
all the stats
back in the 90s. I'm not sure exactly. I think it was 94, maybe 95. We had a kid from Mosley was killed.
Talk about that. Didn't he murder somebody?
No, he did, but it was the kid that played at Mosley. I don't know if he had steroids or what was going on, but they met and then they killed him for whatever he had, and so they just let the guy out. So that's been a big stink too.
You know what I heard about that? Remember the Tuesdays at the mall a long time ago? Came down for an interview for the Mosley job. Larry Bollinger was the principal. Tommy was the county AD. And somebody, I was coming to an interview with, and they told me that story. I was going, wow, that had to be, didn't it make national news?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, but this made it again because, they let the guy out. The guy got out. So,
wow.
But, yeah, now he's back. I guess he's back in town. I don't know. I'm not going to throw any names out there. I know everybody's name, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that it was a steroid thing.
Steroids, you get very aggressive, too. Very aggressive.
And it's
certain types.
Yeah, certain types. And it's amazing how many men want them when they start deteriorating as they get older. And they think that this is the ultimate answer when they don't realize there's a lot of side effects.
Yeah.
A lot of side effects. Yeah.
But anyway, all right. How much time?
I got 2.5.
All right, let's start. I got to talk about all my wonderful people. Let's start with Jason Kovaleski. Now, one thing we're talking about these steroids. You can still get big and strong naturally, and you can take vitamins. You can take protein. Jason Kovaleski's got so many different things. This creatine, I had my heart doctor tell me, yeah, if you want to take creatine, go ahead. There's some good things about creatine. So go down and visit with Jason Kovaleski if you want to get bigger, stronger, faster, gain muscle mass, things like that. Not the steroids. Go talk to him. He'll set you straight. Listen to him tomorrow and Friday. Jason Kovaleski, Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You'll be glad you did. Get down there and you can try it before you buy it also. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant, the best seafood, ice cold beer, the legendary J. Michael's. We went there yesterday, had the cheeseburgers are incredible. We had a great time yesterday. Special today is red beans and rice. Go check it out. But they got the best fried shrimp you'll get anywhere. Julie had the J. Michael shrimp burger. It was outstanding, no doubt about that. Also, don't forget about Lynn Haven, Beef O'Brady's. Pat does a great job. You love Mexican food, only one place to go. Not too far from where Matt's store is. It's on Cape Coral, Panama City Beach Parkway, Pepper's Mexican Grill. Today, all you military personnel, 10% off your bill. Buy one, get one free. We're talking about house wines, not house wines, house margaritas and draft beer. Great place to have a birthday party. Go check it out. Matt, tell me again, you got back pains. You're having all kind of issues. You can't sleep. Life's just not going the right way. You don't need to drink yourself to death. You don't need to pop pills for pain. What else can they do that can help them relieve the pain? What can they do?
Well, at Thrive Alternative Medicine, we take a very nice approach to people. We're kind. We give you education, not only just trying to get you to get your card, your marijuana card. We try to tell you some of the, educate you on some of the ways that it can help you with different pains, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxieties, not sleeping. And a lot of patients come before their big surgery, because they don't want to be on opiates after surgery because they've heard that you get addicted to those things, and you do.
Patrick, I want my yard to look absolutely beautiful. What can I do? How can I help make that happen?
Pick up the phone. Call 850-890-5820. We'll answer. We'll get out there and take care of you. It's mole cricket season. They are fixing to come out in force. You're going to start seeing little tunnels, little things happen up in your yard. Give us a call. We've got a mole cricket treatment. We can get out there, get those boogers out of the way, better than we can get the uncles out of the way, as Glenn asks all the time. You can look us up on Facebook at Turf Pro PC. Message us on there, and we can get back with you.
We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Who's got the best conference in football? Who does? We'll talk about it when we get back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 81 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight, very little wind, and a temperature of 68. About the same tomorrow, around 79 with mostly sunshine and a wind coming out of the south-southeast at 9 miles per hour. Partly sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and hot around 78. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. James behind the glass right there, running the boards for us. Patrick's in here, Matt, and the legend, Glenn Manley. And speaking of legend, we got another great guy on the phone with us, right? Big Nate. Nate, what's up, Big Daddy?
Hey, what's up there, guys? How you doing this morning?
We're wonderful. Good morning. Well, you asked me what's up. I'm going to tell you what's up. All this talk, all this love I've been giving to Big Ten, I cannot wait till tomorrow till I get Jason Kovaleski and Jim Brandt, the Big Ten boys. The best conference in SEC football is the SEC. When you got 87 players drafted and the Big Ten only had 68, we got the best top to bottom, the best conference in football. The Big Ten just got the best coaches. They do the best development. They do the best job.
Well, I don't know, Coach. I kind of have to go against a different take on this.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I mean, in the last let's say the last 30, 20, and 10 years, correct?
Okay. Break it down.
You got the SEC distancing themselves from any other conference.
Right.
Now they may have a little bit of a drought right now.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean they don't have the ability
to
beat the Big Ten or the SEC.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Keep preaching.
So,
keep going.
It really depends on how you rate those teams. Now, I did my rating based on playoff appearances because it really doesn't matter who plays as long as the team gets there. It's a team sport. It doesn't matter how many people get to the NFL. It's a team sport. I mean, Alabama had a bunch.
10.
Ohio State had, 9 or something?
5 in the first 10. How do you not win the Big Ten? How do you not win the Big Ten?
Right. Exactly. So it's not always what you have, it's what you do with it.
There you go.
And that comes down to the team mentality. Now, if you look at some of the best teams, Nick Saban, Alabama, I mean, come on.
Yep.
You can't dispute it. Now, he's no longer there. And you have DeBoer in there. You're going to have DeBoer in there for a long time. So what can he do with it? We don't know. We don't know but could he bring prevalence back to Alabama? Absolutely. But this NIL, you can see the shift from what we had 20 years ago to what we've had in the last 10 years. The NIL is changing the landscape so drastically that, look at Indiana. They didn't have the high-priced team that everybody had, but they still won a national title. Are we going to see more of that? I doubt that. I think Indiana was there because it was their turn to be there because of the consistency of their play over the last 4 years. And they just climbed the ladder, and they did their job. Well coached, good team chemistry. But did they have any, huge, outstanding standouts other than the number one pick? No, not really. So you can pick whatever conference you want. There are going to be ebbs and flows, but right now, historically, the SEC has been the predominantly in the last 30 years has been the number one conference in college football.
Make sure you're recording all that. I'm going to play this tomorrow for the Buckeye boys. Hey, another thing about Indiana, too, people don't realize, even Michigan, that year they won the national championship, they had an older football team. They had a lot of older players on the team. Indiana had a lot of older players on the team.
That's going to be the norm.
That helps, man. You're bigger, stronger, faster. You know the system better. You perform better. That's just my opinion. I think that.
Do I think that J.J. McCarthy beat Michael Penix? No. I think Michael Penix was a better product. He had more experience. He'd been in more teams, had more snaps. Of course, he was coming off major injuries. Now look at J.J. McCarthy, major injuries. Because they're not able to play to the level that they needed to play. They played within the system that was supported around them. It was a lot like Russell Wilson. Do you think Russell Wilson went out there and made things happen the way it was scripted? No. You know how many broken plays he had to make up and just got lucky? Right. I'm not saying that the Seahawks weren't good, but they had to build a defense around Russell Wilson to make it so that they could make up for the inadequacies that he had over the years. He wasn't a bad quarterback, but he wasn't like, a John Elway or a Joe Montana. I love Russell Wilson for what he gave us, but he just was another piece in the whole scheme of things.
Nate, let me ask you this. DeBoer, I think he's a great man. I think he's a really good coach, and I'm hoping year 3 we see what we want to see, and year 4 we see what we want to see. But the negatives, the things we've seen, lack of discipline from Alabama football teams, not being a physical football team, getting embarrassed by FSU, a team that had hardly anybody drafted. You see that. What are people in Washington, what did they think of him?
Well, for the time that they had with him, which was very limited, I mean, he basically got us to a national title. But that really wasn't a team that he purposely built himself. I mean, he did bring people in, obviously, but a lot of those players were already there. The system was already there. He just had to make it better, and he did that. He got us to the national title, and I think the stars aligned. Because you got to remember, we had to play against Bo Nix. Oregon could have beat us.
Yeah,
they almost did. They probably should have, except for a few calls that came down. So Washington, we feel a little bit like, hey, we put our time into you. Now you just run it off to the bigger school to make a name for yourself, which is kind of like the whole NIL thing where it's the system behind the system. You kind of just you never know what you can get. I think the coach they have now in Washington, I think he's going to do well. I think he's really dedicated to making these kids better.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this year. Because if you look at look at Boston. He got taken.
Yeah.
And he was taken pretty high. And, I think that the West Coast gets a lot of – there's obviously more population on the East Coast. The population density is almost twice what it is on the West Coast.
Nate, if you think of it, you're not busy anymore, call us when the Buckeye boys are in here. I'm going to give it to him.
My son-in-law's a Buckeye fan, so we go toe-to-toe all the time.
I'm going to bust their butt. 5 out of the top 10 players, that's unheard of, and you can't win the Big Ten. You can't even win the Big Ten. The Big Ten's so tough.
Happens. Maybe those 5 players they were thinking that they were better than they were at the time.
Yeah. Well, we'll ask them.
You never know.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, you guys are the best. Love talking to y'all. And I'm going to call me some Turf Pro here in a minute.
All right. There you go. All right, Nate. See you later, buddy. Thanks for the call. Matt, anything in the draft surprise you? Did your Jets get better, worse, or stay the same?
I think we picked up some really good people, but my thing is with the draft, I'm just you got to wait to see.
Yeah.
And that's what's amazing, that they have such a population watching it and going crazy, because they got to prove it first.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the failures in the past. The number ones don't always play well.
It's been so long since they've been really good.
Oh, I know.
It makes you sad. I grew up Joe Namath, New York Jets.
Those days are long gone.
Long time ago. Yeah. The people still support them pretty well, though, the crowds.
What's amazing to me is that team is worth almost $6 billion, and they are supported.
Unbelievable.
And maybe that's why we don't have the crunch to do well. I don't know.
You know, he's still making money, not winning. He's doing something right.
Well, he owns Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Woody Johnson owns the company. I mean, he does well.
All right, real quick, how can people get up with you?
Come to Thrive Alternative Medicine, and we'll take good care of you with some counseling, Emsella treatments, which are for incontinence and male dysfunction, and medical marijuana cards. Be legal.
Patrick?
Turf Pro PC on Facebook and 850-890-5820 on your telephone.
All right, leave it here all day long. We got a great lineup. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be back tomorrow. The Buckeye boys will be in here. We're going to set them straight about the SEC and the Big Ten. We'll be right back.
We're out.
Well, the station will be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
They don't care about the fans. We're all beating our chests, going to the tailgaters, drinking the Kool-Aid, eating the hot dogs.